What time frame, roughly, would you see us in North America bottoming out in this debt crisis before things start getting better?
Ask me in 6 months. That's a very good question, and the answer is I don't know. If we put ourselves onto a sustainable debt path in the U.S., then we'll bottom. We could be bottoming now. If we don't deal with the deficit, we're screwed. I mean, it's just that simple. I think we will. But we may have a crisis or two in the meantime. Republicans may have to just finally draw a line in the sand because Obama doesn't seem to be wanting to negotiate. We'll see if the Senate puts a budget on the table. From a crisis standpoint, getting to a sustainable deficit, and by sustainable I mean that the deficit is lower than nominal GDP, so that income is rising faster than debt. That's sustainable. Now, the wise thing to do may be to run a surplus. We would only be wise if just great fortune hit. We're not that smart. We'd just have to get lucky. But we could get our deficit below nominal GDP. That could happen. It doesn't have to happen next year. 5 to 7 years, the markets will let it get away with it. So
we're just going to take one more question.
Okay.
You want to continue there?
I appreciate that.
And then we got to let him, because he's raised his hand every time.
Oh, my
So you got to have two.
Okay, we'll have two.
And I feel bad because I actually have a two-parter. But the first part is when you were talking about your actual investment ideas, and for the long term, they may be all good ideas, the technology, telecommunications, biotech. In the short run, I know you're familiar with Taleb, you've talked about. In times of crisis, correlation of almost everything goes to 1. And so there would be a time when your great long-term ideas could theoretically and almost certainly take a big hit if the markets take a big hit. I'm just wondering how, A, you might cope with that, and B, you're talking about Ray Kurzweil in a way with the singularity is near, about your ideas for the future. And just coming from a background of medicine, there's been 30 years since I graduated, and the cure for cancer has been incremental, and it's a great cure for cancer has been just around the corner, just 3 or 4 years away, just like you just said, every year since I graduated. And so I'm hoping that God, from your lips to God's ear, is the same. But do you have any real reason to believe that we are near the singularity, that is actually, that Moore's Law is going to start applying to other fields?
We're seeing Moore's Law apply to a lot of fields. You watch it in robotics, you're watching artificial intelligence, you're watching it in biotechnology. You can process 10,000 times the number of molecules and steps per hour, per dollar that we could 10 years ago. I mean, that is changing. We can solve for more genomes. We're throwing more bodies at it. So yes, things are going to change, and we're seeing that faster. The only reason I'm even optimistic about this cancer company is it's a radical out-of-the-box cure, and I'll talk to you about it afterwards, in the sense that it's not trying to destroy, everybody else end up trying to destroy the body almost in order to kill the cancer. This was a fluke discovery. They weren't actually looking to cure cancer. It was children's researching an obscure children's disease. They just ran onto it out of Cincinnati, that hub of research. I don't think you should have anything that doesn't have some hedge to it in this world. I mean, right now, I am long some technology, but it's private technology, and it's stuff that I can sustain whatever the valuation is. But you shouldn't have any investments that you can't sustain a short-term reversal. You shouldn't have anything that's not hedged. If you're worried about a 15 or 20% drop, you should be hedged in everything. That's why I like what you guys are doing. Part of your hedge is just having it in income. is having it diversified across really, truly non-correlated asset classes. That's the only free lunch there is out there, is diversification.
We'll just get to
I guess I'm, well, first of all, I guess if I'm the last guy, I'd like to say I think for everybody we've had a real blast, John. It's been wonderful. By the way, I'm John, too. Okay. And it's been great. I'm afraid that I'm somewhat overlapping the last speaker, but in more concise language, when are human trials starting with this new cancer drug, or have they started?
Human trials start in June, July.
And part B of the question is, obviously, if they're starting in June, July, how can the consumers, or how can John's club get involved?
How can what?
Your club, John's club.
You can't right now. I mean, in terms of it's just not a public company, and I don't know that it'll be I don't know that it'll ever go public, you know, before the point of it being, you know, stupid valuation. Which,
of course, you'll let us know.
Well, I mean, I'll let you know from a humanitarian standpoint. Yeah, we've got a cure for cancer, but there's tons of stuff. I mean, on the biotech world, one of the things we'll be doing third quarter is launching in Mauldin Economics. If you guys notice, I've started actually selling newsletters as opposed to giving them away. I'll always give my letter away free. We'll always do the free stuff, but we're starting a publishing company and trying to actually make money. One of the things we're going to do third quarter is launch a transformational division that will look at transformative technologies, companies, ideas, and how can we profit from the move from where we are today to where we're going to be. And so it's not just the cancer. I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of 4 or 5 potential companies that actually are further along than my cancer company. I just say the cancer company because that's a word that resonates with us. That somehow or another captures the mind. When we talk about, you know, inflammation in your shoulders, that doesn't quite have the same impact. But I got to tell you, for those of us who are getting older and we're in the gym, being able to deal with a little inflammation is cool. By the way, this summer probably there'll be a device, and I'll be writing about it, that cools you down while you're in the middle of a workout. You know how you get hot when you're in a workout? And your body starts trying to cool you down, doctor. Okay, that's what it does. It takes energy to cool you down. What if you could cool yourself down in the middle of your workout so your body didn't have to transfer energy to cool you down? You could use that energy to pump iron. Then you could do more physical work. You could create more stamina. Well, some Stanford biologists figured out how to do this. A little machine, you stick your hand into it, cools you down. It's going to cost like $700-800. I did 189 push-ups on my 63rd birthday. I'd never done more than 80 or 90 in my life. I mean, you just could keep, this thing is amazing because you work out, you do your circuit, you cool yourself down, and you can do the same, you can repeat it, and you can repeat it. It is cool.
John, John.
So I can just keep going for hours. Okay.
What does the machine do with regards to a 4 a.m. fire alarm?
Oh, by the way, the shoulders, it takes away the shoulder pains. The joints and aches that you get from being older, they don't seem to show up. It somehow has to deal with the inflammation. They don't know what that's doing yet, but it's cool. I love this toy.
Thanks.
So life's getting better. I'm an optimist.
You can see John gets pretty excited about this stuff, and as I said at the start, I was under no illusions as to why most of you came tonight, given where the questions were directed. Before everyone makes a rush to the door, I do want to let everyone know we have a plate load, a truckload of great appetizers waiting for everyone, as I know some of you probably came for work, and we have a host bar as well. So for those that didn't get their chance to ask a question, We'll all be around, and we'd be more than pleased to take any questions. Mark, did you want to add anything?
I just wanted to obviously thank John Mauldin for coming up here and visiting with us, and of course, thank you all for coming here. Hopefully you found it informational. Thank you.